Hey everyone! Today I want to show you what might be the smallest buffered multiple ever made. It's a 1U 8HP module and just 40 millimeters wide, and it still manages to be a proper 1:6 or 2:3 buffered mult. No sandwich PCB and no wasted space. And yeah, it actually works just perfectly fine. So why would one even bother squeezing a buffered mult into such a small format? If you're building a compact rack or using a shallow skiff, you know how valuable every horizontal pitch of space can be. And also in terms of module depth. Most buffered molds use a sandwich PCB layout, which stacks boards to save panel space. But in shallow cases, that just does not fit, and it also adds cost since there needs to be a second PCB. So I set myself a little challenge. Could I build a 1U mold that's super narrow, low profile, and still be fully active and buffered? The short answer, yes, I can. And here's what I came up with. To start off, I used the regular Thonchicon jacks. They're pretty much the standard in Eurorack, but when you put 8 of them in so little space, things get tight very fast. To save space, I made the ground lugs of the Thonchicons share connections between adjacent jacks. It's a bit fiddly during assembly, but once it's in, it works exactly the same and saves a lot of space. On the back, instead of using the typical 2x5 through-hole header for power connection, I went with a 1x5, which is surface mount instead of through-hole. In Eurorack, both rows on the 2x5 are actually connected anyway, so using just one row is perfectly fine, and it saves a lot of space. Schematic-wise, I did not need to reinvent the wheel. Each output is driven by a single TLO72 op-amp in a non-inverting configuration. There's a 1K resistor after each output, mainly to protect the op-amp in case someone accidentally plugs a voltage into the output jack. One little trick here, the first input is normalized to the second one. So if you only use the top input, it acts as a 1x6 mult. If you plug something into the second input, it breaks the connection and turns into a 2x3 multiple. If you want to dive deep into any schematics basically regarding Eurorack, I highly recommend checking out Moritz Klein's channel. He's got fantastic explanations and really makes the electronics side accessible much better than I ever could. So here's the PCB in KiCad. As you see, the jacks on the front side really take up all the space, so really can't use any through-hole components on the back anymore. Therefore, we only use SMD components on the backside. Talking about PCBs, this video is sponsored by PCBWay. There's really something to it about designing a PCB, sending it off, and a few days later, you hold your own circuit boards in your own hands. Even for a tiny utility like this is one of the most satisfying parts about DIY. If you are into synth or DIY electronics in general, PCBWay is a great service to get your boards made. They also do assembly, CNCing, and 3D printing if you ever need more than just a bare board. Links in the description if you want to check them out. So let's get back to our build. This is the finished module. I'm really happy how it turned out, and it's really not a flashy module, but it solves a real problem in small racks. And in DIY, that's often the name of the game. Simple, solid utility that fits your rack. Let's end this video as always with a little jam. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.